Twilight Sparkle, Ace Attorney, The Royal Turnabout. Written by AnimeGX43. Chapter 8. Day 2. Investigation. The Poor Boxer. October 10th, 1:15 p.m. Canterlot District Court, Defendant Lobby. After a few hours, the trial had finally ended, but only for the day. At the same time the next day, Twilight would have to go back with new evidence to prove her friend innocent of the crime. Twilight was disappointed that she couldn't end the ordeal right then and then, but she was also happy that Rarity wasn't declared guilty. Well, that didn't quite go as expected, and the day isn't even over yet.
Twilight, are you alright? I know you're probably tired from shouting objection all day, but you sure got quiet quickly.
Sorry, I'm just a little frustrated. I spent all night reading up on equestrian law, and nothing that I learned actually helped me.
Weren't you on jury duty at one point? What was that like?
Now that you mentioned it, that trial lasted all day, and it was nothing compared to attempted murder. This trial seemed much more fast-paced. Why would a crime this serious be in such a rush? As Twilight thought over her own question, finding it all illogical, she took notice of a pony walking about who would be able to give her an answer. Walking out of the courtroom, she saw the doctor, who acted as the judge for the trial. Hey! Doctor! The doctor turned and saw Twilight and Spike running to him.
Oh! Hello, uptight Miss Twilight Sparkle. You're still here?
Nice try, Doc. I heard what you were about to call me. Doctor, I'd like to talk to you about the way you handled the trial today.
Very well then. What would you like to talk about?
Well, for starters, why were you rushing it? It felt like you were going to announce a verdict at any moment. Were you trying to settle everything today for some reason?
Oh, so you found this trial to be different as well. I'm not from Equestria, so I thought the way I was handling the trial seemed off too. But it was what Celestia wanted, and I can understand why.
Yeah, you may need to make sense, buddy.
Well now, it's actually quite simple. Just as you both figured, most trials are carried out through traditional means. Information carefully explained to all, a fixed number of days for the trial. Why, I was surprised to hear that Equestria could actually use a jury system from time to time.
Yes, that's exactly what I was expecting. Why wasn't it for this trial?
Crimes of the tallest order, such as attempted murder on royalty, requires Princess Celestia and Princess Luna to be part of it. But, as you can imagine, they also have an entire kingdom to watch over. Even though I'm the judge, they still have to watch it to make sure everything is being run smoothly.
Yeah, I guess that would mean they can't spend who knows how long on something that would come unexpected and ruin their entire schedules.
Exactly. The solution was the 3-day trial system, which is what we're using. A fast-moving trial system where the defense and prosecution quickly bring in evidence until the trial comes to a halt. If the judge, me, is satisfied with the evidence, I'll make my verdict. But since there's now a witness that needs to be brought in, I decided to call it a day.
That explains it. Wait, does that mean I only have 2 more days to clear Rarity's name? Oh heck, it'll be a miracle if tomorrow's trial lasted 2 minutes. Although Twilight was happy to get an explanation about the seemingly rushed trial, the fact that the trial would likely last only 1 more day, she suddenly felt more stressed out than when she was at court. Alright, Spike, we better start investigating. Any ideas on where to start?
If I could make a suggestion, how about you see your client at the detention center? From the looks of things, she knows much more than she's been letting on.
Great idea! Thanks, Doctor. Let's head out, Spike.
To get Rarity out of jail! LOZ!
After Spike jumped on Twilight's back, they left the courthouse as quickly as they could to begin their search for clues for the next day of the trial. After they had already left, the doctor was left with a confused look due to what Spike said as he left with Twilight. October 10th, 1:30 p.m. Canterlot Police Department, Room 105, Criminal Affairs. With the police station not being far from the courthouse, it didn't take Twilight and Spike very long to get there. The detention center was in prison next door to the station, but Twilight couldn't see Rarity right away.
What are we doing back here, Twilight? I thought we wanted to go to the detention center.
We do, but I want to talk to Cestus first. Like the doctor said, Discord is probably talking to her first, and as the prosecutor, he gets to talk to her and investigate before us.
You mean we only get the scraps of whatever Discord gets? What a rip!
Yeah, this is exactly why I wish I could abuse my princess title. That said, I think it would be smart if we move one step ahead of him and see if we can learn anything new from the police.
I don't know, Twilight. You and the chief don't seem to get along very well.
Oh, I'm sure it'll all be water under the bridge. Twilight hoped to meet Cestus with no further trouble, but she didn't get that lucky. After walking in the room, Twilight and Spike saw a circle of officers surrounding Cestus, cheering for their boss. Cestus was standing on his hind legs and was standing in front of a large, white, freestanding punch bag, which had the colors of Princess Celestia's mane, as well as an image of her face on the main punching area. With his front hooves, Cestus was giving the punching bag blow after blow. As he punched the bag, the cheers of his peers got louder and louder. None of them realized that for each punch, Twilight got more and more angry at them all. 16.5, 17.2, a voice coming from the punching bag said.
Come on, boss! You can do it! Put some muscle into it! My grandma can hit harder than that!
With the rest of the officers motivating him, Cestus gave the bag one final, powerful punch where Celestia's face was. 18.0! A new record! The sound of the new record caused a lot of excitement for the officers as they cheered and raised their hooves in the air. The fun quickly came to an end, though, as all it took was one lone officer to turn their head to see the angry princess screaming at her sight.
Ah!
The scream caused every pony in the room to notice Twilight, and none of them were happy. The death glare from Twilight caused most of the officers, and even Spike, to slowly back away. Only Commissioner Cestus walked forward to greet their princess.
Hi there. Sorry for all that happened to your friend, but congratulations for doing as well as you have.
So, after punching away at Celestia's face, he becomes nice for me? Oh, he's so going to get it.
Something wrong, pal?
I'll tell you what's wrong. First, you arrested my friend, then you testified against her, and now you're doing the next best thing to punch Princess Celestia in the face! What's wrong with you?
Hey, I was only doing my job, pal. I didn't like what I did today either. But I had to do what I had to do. And considering how little we all get for doing so much, can you blame me for not liking my boss?
She's our great and powerful ruler. You have no right to see her like that.
Please, the great and powerful Trixie is more appealing, and she's just a traveling circus act.
Why, you little...
Having reached the end of each other's patience, Twilight Sparkle and Star Cestus, for a second time, went at each other's heads, creating a large, dusty cloud of smoke as they fought each other. There was a good 5 feet difference between the dusty cloud and the nearest pony. The police ponies were frightened when Twilight walked into the station, but their jaws all dropped when another certain pony walked inside, causing the officers and Spike to all bow down before her. Princess Celestia herself entered the scene. She saw Twilight and Cestus mindlessly fighting and wasn't happy.
That's enough!
As soon as they heard Celestia's voice, Twilight and Cestus stopped and looked up to Celestia in fear and quickly stood up straight to greet the princess. They both knew Celestia wasn't pleased with either of them. I'm very disappointed in both of you right now. Twilight Sparkle, you're supposed to be working on Rarity's case. Star Cestus, you're supposed to be out there and investigating if Rarity was the true culprit. Do you both understand me?
Yes, Princess Celestia.
Good. I'm going to come back to talk to you two later. Hopefully, by then, you'll stop acting like children and work together on this case. Knowing that she came at a bad time, as well as not being happy with Twilight or Cestus, Celestia left the station, but she had the intention of coming back, leaving Twilight and Cestus feeling ashamed for what they did. Princess Celestia, ruler of Equestria, master of magic, and expert at bringing a girl down. I'm sorry for getting angry. I guess all you were doing was playing with a punching bag.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry for disrespecting some pony you cared for. Maybe we should just stop talking about princesses for a while.
Finally, something we can agree on. Alright, now maybe I can get some actual cooperation with this guy.
Since Twilight was finally on good terms with the police commissioner, she decided to take the chance to ask him a few questions and started by asking him some personal questions.
So, tell me, what exactly is it about high society that you don't like?
It's not just me. Pretty much every pony here have issues with them. All of us clock in here every day in the morning and stay until the night, sometime in the longest hours. And while the money looks good, spending it here in Canada is a challenge. Homes, food, and anything of luxury is normally out of our reach.
I can't say I can understand. I know a lot of ponies in Canada, and none of them seem to think the way you do.
Cestus laughed at Twilight's comment, expecting she would say something like that.
Of course you want to know. You were raised as a fat cat.
And here I thought he wouldn't be disrespectful again. Maybe I should hear him out. You've called me a fat cat a couple of times now, which would suggest I'm some really rich snob. Why do you think that of me?
Easy. When it comes down to it, you've been a spoiled brat. You've practically been raised by Princess Celestia herself and probably got to spend every day practicing magic, which your cutie mark there shows it's your favorite thing to do.
Actually, that's something that's been bothering me for a while. Now that you've mentioned it, I've been curious. If you're a cop, then why do you have a boxing cutie mark? I don't see anything they have in common.
At that moment, Cestus started to look sad as he looked back at his flank, but he didn't let it get him depressed.
Ah, so you noticed. Yes, I'm a former pro boxer, but I bet that I'm still the best in Equestria.
Cestus said with a huge smile, taking pride in his talent.
Oh, that explains why I was losing those fights. At least I got him in a good mood, but I have the feeling it won't last. So, why aren't you still a boxer?
Well, truth be told, boxing isn't exactly the most popular sport in the nation, as peaceful as Equestria, so it doesn't exactly pay the bills.
So, you had to get a job at a place where you could actually support yourself? No wonder he didn't like me. I've worked hard too, but I've been living my dream by practicing magic. Actually, it looks like a lot of the ponies here don't have the appropriate cutie marks. I never knew how rough it was to live in Camelot.
With a new sense of sympathy for Cestus, Twilight felt she was ready to ask for his help on the case.
I know I'm practically everything you hate in a pony, but believe me when I say that I can still be your friend. I've never treated a pony any different from another, and you'll be no exception. Let me prove that a princess like me can still help ponies like you.
Cestus looked at Twilight funny, but then laughed before he answered.
Nah, you're no princess, pal. You're just, well, a pal. Miss Rarity is lucky to have a friend like you. I'm sure you can prove she's innocent.
Friendship really is magic.
With Cestus finally calm about his personal issues and having trust in Twilight, the two bumped hooves and agreed to work together. Since they actually came to an agreement, Twilight felt certain that she'd be able to find what she needed to succeed in the trial.
I guess I better get back to the investigation. Got anything you'd like to share before I had to head out to the crime scene?
Since the police will be at the crime scene, I guess I can't go there yet.
I don't suppose you can bring me back some evidence to help my case, could you? I'm sure if there's anything to clear Rarity's name, Discord will want it destroyed.
I'll be sure to keep an eye out. Just try and stay out of trouble.
Ready to investigate the crime scene again, Cestus and a number of other officers left the room. Since Twilight already spent a lot of time in criminal affairs, she decided to move on with her investigation too.
Alright, Spike. I think it's time we go see Rarity now.
It's about time. I thought you forgot I was even here.
To be honest, I did.
Oh, one quick thing before we head down to the detention center. Using her magic, Twilight targeted the punching bag that Cestus was using earlier, lifted it up, and magically made it disappear.
What did you do to that punching bag?
I teleported it back to my room at the castle. I'm not quite done with the idea of the police commissioner of Canterlot punching Princess Celestia in the head. I'm sure Princess Celestia herself wouldn't approve of it.
There was a big sticker on it saying approved by Princess Luna. I'm sure they do.
What? No wonder Celestia banished her to the moon. She wanted to talk to me anyway, so I guess that's one more thing to talk about.
Having her affairs all wrapped up with the police and her next stop being in the same building, Twilight and Spike left criminal affairs to meet Rarity in the detention center, hoping Discord had either stopped interrogating her, or even better, not at all. The calmer Rarity was, the easier everything would go. Twilight felt lucky that happened already, but was ready for anything that would crush her dreams for the 50th time that day. To be continued.
hi there. Sorry for all that happened to your friend, but God damn it, Throne! What the fuck? It literally just made me stop and then, oh god damn it.
Water?
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Horns, food, and anything of luxury. Why does that happen? Okay, luxury. I'm just gonna shove this in my brain until I get it. You hear this, brain? Okay, luxury. Okay. Horns, food, and anything of... fuck me. Luxury.
Friendship really is magic.
She said it.
She did say it. Like, that part is really heartwarming.
Oh,
Moments between Cestus and Twilight. It's really heartwarming.
yeah, it really is. Woo! I did it! Gosh, I did it! Yes! And holy shit, my phone is on 2%. Woo!
Oh dear. Do you ever charge that?
Yeah, probably a good idea. Well, this was a lot of fun.